Zoe was my first love. She brings out the best in me. She's probably the most loving person I know. She's the best mum I could hope for. She has so much love for the kids. She's very laid back. She lets me be who I want to be, which is nice.
He's really ambitious. I'm sort of more laid back, and he's really tidy. I'm messy. I just feel like he's the best thing that's ever happened to me, and I haven't ever loved anyone the way I love him.
The one thing I'd change about her is her self-confidence and self-belief. She really puts herself down, and she shouldn't. She should see what other people see. Self-belief is a difficult thing. You never see yourself in the same light others do, and I know she's trying to work on it, but I think that's the one thing, yeah.
I know I said he was tidy, but he does have a habit of leaving like dirty boxes on the floor.
There are going to be ups and there's going to be downs, but I don't think I'd want to do it with anyone else. I do solemnly declare
that I know not
that I know not
of any lawful reason
why
I, Joseph Peter Campbell
Winstanley
may not be joined in matrimony to Zoe
to Zoe Knake-Kirk.
Well done. Zoe, your turn. I do solemnly declare
that
I know not
of
any lawful impediment
why I, Zoe Knake-Kirk,
may not be joined in matrimony to Joseph Peter Campbell Winstanley. Well done. I remember when I first met Joe, he and Zoe were in their late teens and madly in love. You couldn't separate them, and why would you even try? This was the beginning of a beautiful union. Young love, which would outlive what others considered to be the norm. I looked for a reading for this moment, but none was special enough. To be honest, I've always been in awe of your magical love. I look to you both for inspiration and examples of how it should be done. I've watched you show great maturity and work through what many marriages have not survived. And you've managed to do it with the utmost respect, deep love, patience, humour, sensitivity, and humility for one another. I'm so proud of your achievements and wish you all the best in everything you do in life. Marriage is the potential for intense, deep, and diverse intimacy, where the 5 languages of love are met: words of affection, acts of kindness, the offering and receiving of gifts, quality time, and physical touch. Marriage is knowing someone has your back and you have theirs. Marriage is sharing old jokes or the same old story that you may have told over and over but still makes you laugh until your ribs hurt. Marriage is getting teary-eyed together. Marriage is thinking about the other one not being there anymore and not being able to fathom that thought. Marriage is sometimes fighting, trying to slowly learn to fight more fairly, to apologise, to listen, to find resolution. Marriage is about vulnerability, giving someone that right to hurt or disappoint you, while simultaneously giving that same person the opportunity to bring you a tremendous amount of joy and laughter. Last one. Marriage is a promise, a vow to try the hardest you have ever tried in your life. Marriage is a place for an achievement of a personal integrity like no other. I love you both so much, and I pray that you continue just as you are. And I trust that Zoe and Joe's union will continue to blossom into a wonderful marriage, and may I ask that all of you here send them off with an abundance of love to keep them going for the rest of their lives. Thank you.
Oh,
Thank you.
We now come to the moment in the ceremony, ladies and gentlemen, when this lovely couple will exchange the vows which will make them married to one another. And I'm going to start this part of the ceremony by asking them a couple of questions each. So Joe, do you take Zoe here present to be your lawful wedded wife?
I do.
Will you love and respect her, be honest with her, and stand by her through whatever may come?
I will.
Zoe, do you take Joe here present to be your lawful wedded husband?
I do.
Will you love and respect him, be honest with him, and stand by him through whatever may come?
I will.
Zoe, I give you this ring.
Zoe, I give you this ring
As a symbol of our love and marriage.
as a symbol of our love and marriage,
And as a reminder of the vows
and as a reminder of the vows
we have made here today.
we have made here today.
I call
upon
these persons here present
to
witness that I, Joseph Peter Campbell Winstanley, do take thee, Zoe
Zoe Knake-Kirk
to be my lawful wedded wife.
to be my lawful wedded wife.
from this day forth
from this day forth
and for the rest of our lives.
and for the rest of our lives.
I promise to love and care for you,
I promise to love and care for you,
trust you and be honest with you,
trust you and be honest with you,
to stand by you whatever the future may bring.
to stand by you whatever the future may bring.
I promise you friendship and loyalty,
I promise you friendship and loyalty,
both now and always.
both now and always.
Well done. Push that all well for me. Excellent. Halfway along that slightly trembling,
Sweating hand.
Thanks.
anything to say these words to Joe after me, please. Joe, I give you this ring
Joe, I give you this ring
as a symbol of our love and marriage,
as a symbol of our love and marriage,
and as a reminder of the vows
and as a reminder of our vows
we have made here today.
we have made here today.
I call upon these persons here present
to
witness that I, Zoe,
Can I quick up? Sorry.
do take
Do take the Joseph Peter Campbell, Winstanley,
to be my lawful wedded husband
to be my lawful wedded husband
from this day
from this day
and for the rest of our lives.
and for the rest of our lives.
I promise to care
I promise to care
and love you.
and love you.
I promise to trust you and be honest with you.
I promise to trust you and be honest with you,
Stand by you whatever the future may bring.
to stand by you whatever the future may bring.
I promise you friendship and loyalty,
I promise you friendship and loyalty,
both now
both now and forever.
Having consented to be joined in matrimony, and having witnessed the same before all your friends and relatives, and by the giving and receiving of rings, and by making the declarations required by law in front of the official registrar of marriages, it's now my great pleasure and indeed honour to pronounce you husband and wife. Sir, you may kiss your
you please be upstanding? Please welcome your bride and groom, Mr. and Mrs. Winstanley.
On behalf of both families, I would like to warmly welcome each and every one here today on a wonderful occasion. You have given your precious time, travelled long distances and made special arrangements to be here. Celebrate the wedding of Zoe and Joe. And for that, we are extremely grateful. There's a Swedish proverb that claims that joy shared is a joy doubled. So thank all of you very much for making the Zoe and Joe's day extra special. Liam, come here, mate. Do that for me. Please. Please.
We do hope you enjoy the magnificent setting and participate in the days much as us. I would like to take this opportunity to compliment you all on how good you look today, and thank to all of those involved in the planning and delivery of this glorious celebration. It's on days like this that you hope everything goes without a hitch. But I'm pleased to report, after such a long courtship, there has finally been a hitch day. Well done. A wedding is, of course, a time of joy, fun and celebration, with friends and family gathered to see the happy couple off as they start their new life. But it is a time too when our thoughts I can't say that word. One of those days now I've lost. Oh, I've gone.
Sorry, Liam.
Oh, I've still lost. Turn to those people who have meant so much to us and shaped our families, but sadly could not be here today, namely Graham, Zoe's father. I may, however, just have spoiled Zoe a little, or given her too high expectations, because within days of moving in with Joe, Zoe was distraught and called home in tears, saying that she was unhappy and that Joe was being unreasonable and using 4-letter words. Naturally, as her parents were horrified and went to see what was going on, turns out Joe was asking her to cook, wash, wipe and tidy. But now our girl has matured into a kind and wonderful woman and a great mum. I have looked forward to this day for many, many, many years. Today was the first of me seeing Zoe in her wedding dress, and she looks beautiful. Zoe makes a stunning bride, and yes, as her stepfather, you would expect me to say this, but it does not make it any less true. She may be dressed to kill today, but unfortunately for Joe, that's also how she cooks. I'm so happy Zoe and Joe have married. It brings life to our dreams and wishes as a little girl. Dressing up, watching the Disney classics such as Cinderella, Shrek and Beauty and the Beast. Which kind of brings me on to Joe. Intelligent, kind. Suave?
Suave.
Suave, handsome, humorous, athletic. A born leader. But that's enough about your new father-in-law. Let's focus on you, Joe. Zoe's early boyfriends were, let's diplomatically say, not great. The phrase, scraping the barrel, springs to mind. My first impressions of Joe were no better. He arrived at our house wearing a hoodie and a clapped-out Peugeot scooter, which dripped oil into my drive. It was a great strategy, as there was only one direction things could go from this point on, upwards. So after this introduction, like any wary, respectable father, I did conduct thorough police and financial background checks on him. I learned from Bournemouth CID. As a young boy, he would often bang on neighbours' doors and disappear without a trace before they had a chance to answer. So, their relationship blossomed, and they made home together, and went on to have two wonderful children. When Joe eventually decided to take an honest woman of Zoe, he asked me in the traditional manner if he could have my daughter's hand in marriage. It was a really classy thing to do, Joe, and I didn't expect that from you. But it did take 12 years, though. 12 years. I know Joe is a good, solid man. He has already impressed us with his thoughtfulness and unshakable love for our daughter and grandchildren. And what more could a parent want for their child? So, Joe, welcome to the family. I'm not losing a daughter because I can't ever give her away, but instead I'm gaining a strapping son-in-law who will clean my car and cut my grass when I get older. I am a very lucky man, I know. I have been married to my soulmate, Chi-Chi, for 18 years now, and for that I am very grateful. As we were preparing this for today's wedding, I did see her reading intently our marriage certificate. I thought, how romantic, how loyal, how touching. So I put my arms around her and asked what she felt about it. Is there an expiry date on this certificate? She asked. But in all seriousness, I hope that Zoe and Joe will have an equally long and rewarding marriage. So ladies and gentlemen, I'd like to ask you to please stand and raise a glass and join me in a toast for two VIPs. My beautiful daughter Zoe and my son-in-law Joe. Is that mine?
Yeah.
I need it for reading this. It's a long speech, I'm sweating. May our lives be entwined like the strong leaves of ivy on a high castle tower. May your joy never end like the circles of your wedding rings. To the bride and groom, God bless you.
Thank you. Thanks, mate.
Good evening, everyone. It's an absolute pleasure for you all to be here today. And thank you so much for being able to spend this day with us. It really does mean an absolute huge amount to me and Zoe. I know a lot of you have travelled far and wide from London, Lincolnshire. You've taken days off work to be able to spend it with us. So for that, we are eternally grateful, and we will treasure this for a long time. I have to say, I am glad that Dave actually made it here. He drove me here this morning, and he's an absolute terrible driver, but we got here in one piece, so thank you very much. I also want to say a big thank you to our cameraman Jimmy today, being able to capture today on video, and James and Adam for being able to capture this moment on video as well for us. It's honestly, we appreciate it so much, and we can look back on those photos and videos and treasure it going forwards. I guess it's a thank you now to the new in-laws. So thank you for being able to raise such a magnificent and amazing daughter. You've helped us out with this wedding by being able to provide her dress, getting her ready, which was an achievement in itself, and getting her on time. So a really big thank you to you. Continuing the thank yous, there's also thank you to my parents as well for being able to financially support us on this day. You've always been there for us. You've provided emotional support, financial support, and if I need to go buy a new motorbike, you've been there to take me and pick that up as well. Unfortunately, there's people here today who can't be with us. As Phil mentioned, your dad Graham, he passed away a lot of years ago, and I really wish I could have met him, but I'm sure he is looking down from wherever he is on you, and he's immensely proud, and I wish I could have met him, and hopefully we live up to the expectations he would have had. Moving on from that, it's also a thank you to the bridesmaids. I guess you can both say they do actually look absolutely stunning today. You've done a very good job, so recommend the hairstylist and the makeup people, anyone who wants to do it, give you their number. So moving on to my best man. Where do I start? He's my brother, my older brother, as you can tell by his receding hairline. He's always been there for me. He also introduced me to drinking spirit straight and forced me to drink a yard of rum, which is still an accomplishment to this day. He was able to get the stag do sorted for us and invite my friends and everything. I would tell you a lot about it, but to be honest, it's scarred in my mind. I got shot 3 times in the dick with a paintball gun. And I can say, I probably don't need the sniff anymore. As you're probably all aware, we've got different table names on each table, so I wanted to give you a little story of these events that have happened in our lives. So number 1, which is the bus stop. As you've heard many times today, me and Zoe have been together for 12 and a half years, and we met at a bus stop. Zoe was getting off of a yellow bus on Fairmile Road at the time with her little brother Liam, who was about 4, and her older sister Tanya. I was on the other side of the road with my friends, feeling cocky, and I was like, oh, she looks good. I'm going to go get her number. So I drove around on my moped over to her, and I was like, and thinking that actually at the time I thought Liam was her son and Tanya was her mum. But I was 16, and I was a bit of an idiot, but I was like, oh, just screw it, I'll see if I can get a number. And I did, and it's, now we're here. So it all did work out in the end. There's a couple more embarrassing stories. We went on holiday in 2012 to New York, so table over there, New York, New Year's Eve. We spent a load of money trying to go away for a really romantic time in New York. We went on Boxing Day, we were looked around, we thought we'll spend it in Times Square, have this magical event, kiss under all the balloons dropping down. What we didn't realise is you have to get to Times Square at about 7 a.m. in the morning, and you have to wait there for the entire day. So we waited there for about 13 hours or something like that. What I also didn't realise is they've got no bathrooms, so you have to hold it in. So it got to about 11 o'clock, 11:20, and someone really had to go to the loo. That was myself. So we had to leave, and once you leave, you're not allowed back in. So we spent out a load of money to try and have a really romantic event, and it all ended because I needed poo. So it was a complete waste of money. So yeah, that's 2 embarrassing events. Third one, and it happened before I knew Zoe, just before. Zoe had decided to have a little gathering at a house party with a few friends round. Nothing major, as kids do. Anyway, it turned into an absolute horror story, the kind of things you'd see on a TV show. 100 guests, house ruined. I just wanted to remind you of this, just to bring it back to you again. Zoe still goes on about this to this day. It's a recurring event in her mind that has been scarred there. And I wish I could have just seen it, to be honest, because I feel like I've lived through it the amount of times I've heard it. Our last table, ice skating. When we got together, we wanted to go away for a romantic weekend away, so we decided to go to the Isle of Wight. And for the day, we thought, it'd be nice if we go ice skating together, kind of thing you see in the movies. So we're skating around this ice rink, and it's quite boring because there's like 100 people there, and you can't go that fast. So I was like, I'll go as fast as I can around this ice rink until you fall over. and then when you fall over and your jeans and your boxer shorts get stuck on your boots below your knees, and you have to stand up completely stark naked in front of about 200 people. We then had to make a very quick exit out of that, and it was still an embarrassing moment that I live up to now. So that's a little story for each of these tables. I couldn't think of any more embarrassing stories for this table, so we've just called it the top table. Or any which are related to Zoe anyway. Me and Zoe, we've been through a lot over the last 12 years. We've now got 2 kids, we've got a house, we've had a lot of ups, we've had a lot of downs, but we've got through it together and we're stronger for that. I see the future's going to hold exactly the same. We're going to have a lot more ups and we're probably going to have a lot more downs, but to be honest, there's no one I'd much rather spend that with. I'm happy to be able to now call you my wife, and I think you're probably happy I get to say that as well, after 10 years or 12 years. Being able to spend this day with you and has been a real blessing for me, and to be honest, it's probably been the best time this week so far. It's great, it's really good. So can I just have everyone stand up and give a toast to the bride, to the in-laws, to all yourselves. Thank you so much. It really does mean the world to us. Cheers.
All right. Well, that was all very pleasant. Firstly, I'd like to thank you all for joining us on this most auspicious day. 12 years in the making, so congratulations. You got round to it at some point. Firstly, I want to say, don't worry. I'm not a member of a mafia or a male gigolo. This wasn't my choice of outfit. Thanks, mate. But for those of you that don't know me, I am Dave. I'm Joe's arguably better looking brother. We've got a few messages to go through, and then we'll get onto the fun stories of Joe. First off, there's a couple of people, well, one person we missed who couldn't be here today, which is our Nan. Don't worry, she's not gone. She's just of an age now where she can turn and go, you know what, I don't really fancy that. And also, it's a very special day today, aside from the wedding. It's also somebody's birthday today. So if I can get a round of applause for my amazing mum, it's her birthday today. Now that both of your sons are now married to amazing wives, we thought we'd get you a little something so you can sit back, relax, and let them look after us now instead. So that's for you for later on, and then also that's just for your birthday. So you didn't feel like we forgot you. All right. Going to duplicate a couple of thank yous real quickly. I'd like to thank Tanya for arranging the hen do. I understand it was fun. Good. Yeah. Any interesting stories from that? I haven't heard anything. Yeah. It's undercover. And also a big thank you to Sylvia as well for your help as well for the arranging the day. So a round of applause for the bridesmaids, if possible. Okay. So a funny story about Joe. There was many to pick from. You can go from his questionable haircuts, his choice of drinks on the night out. Generally, if it's pink or yellow or orange or blue, he will drink it when everyone else is having a pint. So, questionable. So I thought I'd take a funny story from our younger childhood. Now, we go back a couple of weeks. I came down playing with Mia. Where's Mia? Where's she disappeared to? Anyway, so we were playing with Play-Doh. We were making little pies and cakes. And then, for whatever reason, she grabbed a handful of it and tried to shove it up my nose. And it was that moment that I realised that the apple doesn't fall far from the tree. When Joe was very young, he decided to pick up some Play-Doh and shove up his own nose, to the point where we had to take him to A&E and have it pulled out with a pair of tweezers. This was one of many visits to the A&E department. Not just him, myself as well. I did pretty well when I was a youngster. But the Play-Doh was my favourite one. So we bought you a little gift, mate. Some of this. There you go. It's a 5-pack. Or maybe we should give it to Mia because, she'll shove it up her own nose. But yeah, definitely one of my favourite moments. And sort of, basically reiterating what Joe was saying about me early. yeah, we are brothers, and yeah, although we don't talk as much as we want, you just try and shove it in your nose, didn't you? Jesus. Should have packed some tweezers as well. Yeah, we don't talk as much as we should do, but we're always there for each other, and you know, teach him how to drink proper drinks. I've tried my hardest, but yeah, we're always there for each other, and I think, you know, we'll still be there for each other even when you decide to become a redneck and move down south. I was half tempted to get you a bumper sticker. Okay, more sensible stuff. A few bits of advice for newlyweds. Now being married myself, I can say that these are all very, very true. First one, never go to bed angry. It's quite an obvious one, but you know, even in the happiest of marriages, arguments do happen. So just, you know, even if you can't agree at the end of the argument before bedtime, just put it on ice, deal with it the next day. Never go to bed angry. Keep it simple. Don't overcomplicate it. Simple as that. Just keep it nice and simple. Makes life a lot easier and a lot smoother all round. Especially when you've got two little ones that are going to need all your attention and all your support. Just keep it nice and easy. Make big plans. Make big plans. Make big plans for your future. Make small plans for now. Make big plans for the future. And always be aiming to move towards them. Never stay stagnant. Never stand still. You won't have a problem with Joe, because Joe never stands still. Faster he can go, the better. You know, that's why you probably ended up in A&E a few times. So, you know, there you go. But also make realistic plans. Make realistic plans for each other, and you'll go a long, long way. Finally, I'd like to again reiterate what Joe was saying, how amazing Zoe looks today. I think we can all agree. She looks absolutely stunning. Joe, you're definitely punching, mate. But I think, to be fair, that's enough from me for today. So if you can all grab your glasses for a final toast of the day. To the bride and groom. Bride and groom. Cheers. Yeah, that's it for me. Thank you, everyone.
You know where the bar is.
That's it. That's it. Yeah.
Whether it's for better or for the worst, as long as we're together, we'll make it through this. I knew that it was true from the very first time I kissed your lips. I know every day is a new Sometimes you may feel like giving up, but you just gotta look back and remember what we're made of. I'll stay by your side when storms are raging. I will hold you close tonight, and I won't let go until the morning light. I'll stay by your side. There's so much more to you than what meets the eye, a beauty that goes deeper than the surface. I've waited my whole life to find someone who gives love a purpose. I'll stay by your side when storms are raging. I will hold you close tonight, and I won't let go until the morning light. Oh, I'll stay by your side. I won't let go, I won't let go. I won't let go, I won't let go. I hope you know, I hope you know that I won't let go, I won't let go. I'll stay by your side. I will hold you close tonight until the